Well, I wouldn't put too much store on any poll right now. I also think, don't forget, a lot of people have already voted through postal voting. Look, I think it's possible. My own view is I think that understates where the race is right now. And I do think one thing that is happening, I think tactical voting, where we have a very different electoral system. The reason why Johnson wanted this resolved in an election, not a referendum, is he can get away with winning in, with little more than a third of the vote. So I think what is happening is that people realise that the chances of Labour getting a majority are pretty much zero. So the choice is between Johnson having a bit of power or a lot of power. And I think the country are getting kind of pretty sickened at the thought that it might be a lot of power, and therefore a lot of tactical voting is going on. That means that people like me, who are kind of historically Labour, might in some circumstances look to vote for a Lib Dem candidate if they're best placed to win, and vice versa. So that is definitely happening.
And of course, this tactical voting actually cost you your membership of the Labour Party back in the European elections. So let me talk about the Lib Dem angle, because actually if you look at what's happened to that particular party, they've solidly declined in the polls over the last couple of months, and actually latest projections are showing that at most they'll probably pick up a couple of seats.
Yeah.
What do you point that down to? Why are Lib Dem not securing higher than they should be at this point?
I think partly it's back to the point about the electoral system. Historically we're a two-party system. Very occasionally there'll be moments where it looks like that might break down. At the European elections, people like me, it's possible to, in the European elections, you're not choosing the government, and it was a possibility for people to express a protest about the main parties and their approach. I think that they've been squeezed. I also think the Liberal Democrats made a few big mistakes on the way. I think actually having a policy of saying they will just revoke Article 50 and reverse Brexit without another referendum, I think that was a mistake. I think Jo Swinson, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, presenting herself as standing to be the Prime Minister, I think that was a mistake. And meanwhile, I think that the focus in the campaign has gone very much to the choice of Prime Minister. Do you want Boris Johnson? Do you want Jeremy Corbyn? Now the truth is, I think the country wants neither. I think we're in a least worst option election, and that's why I think it is possible, I only say possible, that you may end up with the country saying we don't want either.
It's interesting because you're actually the third person we have in a row saying that this has moved away from the choice of Brexit to the choice of person. It's become about personalities here, a choice between Boris Johnson, Jeremy Corbyn. The voters are not really convinced by either side, but in the situation as it stands, if we do end up with a Tory majority, what does that tell you about the mandate that Boris Johnson is getting to deliver on Brexit?
Well, he will have a majority to deliver the Brexit agreement that he has secured. But I think the problems then begin again for him, because, look, he won the referendum by lying. Get Brexit done is another form of lying, because it's not going to get Brexit done quickly. We're going to be living with this for a very long time. And as the reality of that becomes apparent, then I think actually you're going to see an awful lot of anger, an awful lot of disappointment. I have to say it's been one of the most joyless, miserable, dispiriting elections I can ever remember anywhere in the world. He just spouts out his slogan, get Brexit done, get Brexit done. Labour give the impression that just by putting a little bit more tax on a few people, the world can be kind of rescued. There's been no really big argument about the state of the world and the state of the country and our future. And that's why I think most of the people, I've been going out campaigning in different parts of the country, I've never been in an election in an atmosphere that is so kind of down and sullen about the future of the country. And whoever wins that in those circumstances, I think has a very big challenge.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.